オーストラリアクイーンズランド州。2018年の末、僕たちはあるミュージックビデオの撮影のためキャンピングカーで2週間の旅に出ました。太陽が祝福する雄大な大地とエメラルドブルーの海、そして固有のユニークな動植物たち。誰もが思い描く理想の目的地の数々に毎日心を奪われます。しかし、たくさんのロケーションを巡り、地元の方々にお話を聞くにつれて、こんなパラダイスのような場所にもある一つの問題が浮かび上がってきました。それがプラスチックです。日本で日常生活に欠かせない存在の一つ、プラスチック。その素材としての強度や手軽さがたくさんの場面で活躍しています。プラスチックゴミが海洋に流出している問題は世界的に深刻な問題として大きく取り上げられていますが、オーストラリアで実際にどのような影響が起きているのか、旅をしながら掘り下げていくことにしました。バンダバーグからセスナで約30分のところにあるグレートバリアリーフ最南端のサンゴの島、レディ・エリオット島。12月のこのシーズンは長旅を終えたたくさんの渡り鳥たちが子育ての真っ最中でした。Hi, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Come on in, have a look at the turtles. This is Teresa. She's the biggest turtle we have. And she came to us floating. So she's floating on the surface. So there are 4 turtles here. They are all green turtles. This one is very sick. If you have a look at this turtle, you can see it hasn't got a lot of energy. It's very thin. And it's also floating, but it could be a gut problem, and sometimes that's caused by turtles eating plastic.
ウミガメがプラスチックを食べてしまう理由、それは海に浮いている買い物袋などのプラスチックがクラゲによく似ているから。腸内にプラスチックが詰まってしまうとガスがたまり、ウミガメたちは自分の意思とは裏腹に海面に浮き上がってしまいます。
If you just grab that flipper the way I showed you, yep, and under there, correct. We're going to bring it out now.
First time touching it.
And this turtle is quite relaxed. If we suspect it's swallowed a hook or something, we might have an X-ray done.Realistically, we just provide a safe environment and plenty of food, and we treat them for parasites, and if they're going to recover, they will. In our area, turtles coming in with plastic in their gut is relatively common. The biggest problem we see with plastics is fishing gear, so fishing line in particular.But we do get some turtles that come in with plastics, and of course they could have eaten that plastic from 100 kilometres away. So we don't really know, and often it's really hard to find out what's wrong with the turtle because plastic may not show up in an X-ray. The biggest issue appears to be microplastics. So that's plastics that have broken down.or start out as very small particles because it's very easy for marine animals to ingest them. in Queensland recently banned the use of single-use shopping bags, which have a huge impact on the marine environment if they're not disposed of correctly. And there are a lot of community groups who are cleaning up plastic on beaches and other areas, which is having an impact. Realistically though, that's treating the symptom. The problem is having single-use plastics, and we need to find alternatives to that. They recently found plastic at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, so if it's there, it's everywhere in the ocean. And we don't really know how many animals that's killing because we don't see those animals. They die out in the middle of the ocean and we don't understand what impact there is. So whatever we do is better than continuing the way we do.
プラスチック問題の象徴的な存在として広く認識されているウミガメたち。しかし、マイクロプラスチックなどの被害を受けているのはウミガメだけにとどまらないようです。次に僕たちが向かったのはモートン島にあるタンガルーマアイランドリゾート。このリゾートでは毎晩11頭の野生イルカの群れに小魚の食事を与えることができます。
Welcome to the Eco Centre. Okay, so what you might notice once you come into the Eco Centre is this really unusual tank that we have here. This contains all of the gifts that have been brought in over the years by the dolphins. So basically what has happened over the past few years is that some of the older and more mature dolphins can bring us in some gifts. So you can see here in the tank we have an array of fish, some of which have had their heads removed, almost in a bid to prepare the dinner for you. And you can see some of these beautiful big moray eels that are lying around the base of the tank. And they usually leave it at the feeder's feet. So we're always taught to pass this back at least 3 times to make sure the dolphins don't want to eat this, because this is a very substantial meal for a dolphin. So after the 3rd time, we then lift it out of the water as an acceptance and as a thank you. So unfortunately, plastic does directly affect all marine life, but particularly dolphins in a very negative way. As plastic breaks down in the ocean from pollution that's emptied out into our waterways and into the ocean, when that breaks down into microplastics, it is then eaten at the bottom of the food chain in the ocean by some of the fish. Now those fish will then be ingested by the dolphins. So essentially the dolphins are eating toxic fish. Now 7 to 8 years later, perhaps of a dolphin's life, when they're reaching maturity and it's time to breed, they've perhaps had 7 to 8 years of toxic buildup stored in their blubber tissue because of this plastic. Now when the female dolphin goes to give birth to her first calf and give it some of that milk, from the blubber tissue, that's directly transferring into toxic milk from the plastic, and she's actually feeding her firstborn calf toxic milk. Now that means that the survival rate is only 50% for a female dolphin's firstborn calf. As people aren't fishing responsibly, it's also having a huge impact on all of the marine life and of course the dolphins. We have seen here at the programme 8 out of 11 dolphins that have been wrapped up in fishing line at one point or another. Now there's estimated to be about 600 or more in the bay, and we have seen out of 11, 8 of those dolphins. So imagine the dolphins that are getting wrapped up all the time. Unfortunately, one of our older dolphins, old Bella, passed away from ingesting those stainless steel hooks when they were embedded in her jaw and in her throat. She actually ingested those and died from internal bleeding. As we estimate by the year 2050, at this rate of going, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish.
プラスチックは海外の問題だけではありません。2015年、東京湾で採れたカタクチイワシ64匹のうち8割近く、49匹の内臓からマイクロプラスチックを検出したとの調査結果を、東京農工大学の高田秀重教授らのチームがまとめています。人が環境中に出したゴミが回り回って食卓に帰ってくる。さらに2018年、オーストリアの研究チームは日本を含む8カ国、 8名の研究参加者を調べたところ、全員の便からマイクロプラスチックを検出したと発表しました。マイクロプラスチックが人体に及ぼす影響が今、世界的に懸念されています。最後に向かったのはゴールドコーストから車で20分のところ、カランビン野生動物保護園。ここではコアラの繁殖が行われています。また園内の動物病院には頻繁に怪我を負ったヘビやトカゲ、その他多くの野生動物が一般市民の手によって運び込まれてくるようです。クイーンズランド州では野生のコアラたちも年々数が減少していて、2018年の12ヶ月間だけで400頭以上がここに運び込まれてきました。
Baby, I'm stuck with a halfway heart. Slip away if I come too far. Pick me up when I'm in pieces. Oh, that halfway heart of mine is a rolling stone. Make me roll right home. Halfway hard, halfway hard.
Yeah, that's right. Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary isn't your typical zoo. We're involved in a lot of different conservation and research projects, and where I work in the Currumbin Wildlife Hospital, that is a wildlife hospital that treats up to 10,000 wild animals every year. Members of the public bring us sick and injured animals, and we treat them at no cost to the public and release them back into the wild when they've recovered again. Yeah, plastic does affect land animals as well as sea animals. It's well documented that sea turtles struggle with plastic, but land animals are affected too. Entanglements, entrapments. We see snakes with plastic rings around them that are. We see birds with plastic stuck on their legs, and fishing line, of course, is our least favourite plastic. Yeah, the attitude towards wildlife conservation is growing every year. Social media, it really raises awareness of the plight of wildlife. There's a lot of development here on the Gold Coast, and a lot of the wild animals are struggling, and people are starting to realise that they need to help.
日本にいてはわからないこと、特に都市部にいては気づかない存在たち。クイーンズランドでは海に潜っても森を歩いてもたくさんの命であふれていました。地球という命のゆりかごを僕たちはみんなで共有しているということに、この旅では気づかせてくれたように思います。自分たちの種族だけの存続を重んじる、そんな段階を今人間たちは通り過ぎようとしているのかもしれません。オーストラリアの大自然、地元の人たちの情熱と優しい笑顔、そんな彼らから僕らが感じ受け取ったのは、すべての生き物への温かい思いやりの心でした。
Small things that really make a difference, making sure that you take a bottle to work with you instead of continuing to buy these plastic bottles. We have lots of groups that come through here every year, and we really try to change their perspective on how important it is to look after the environment.
In an ideal world, we could live in harmony with wildlife. It's not easy as development increases, but through social media and other forms of education, we can minimise our impacts, help animals.
We need to do something, and that's everyone. A lot of the plastics we see in our waters don't come from Australia. So it is a global perspective. Whether you're a tourist in another country or not, it doesn't matter. It's all one world and it's all one ocean.